When we last left the party, they had liberated an Empire-captured fort and saved a kidnapped prince. Hooray! Surely this feeling of success would inspire Caravander's player to put his that guying on hold for at least 5 minutes. Right? Right? In the dungeon beneath the fort, the party found the missing prince, dozens of imprisoned villagers, and a single Empire soldier. He was chained up in a cell, stripped of his uniform, and blinded. Leave him. He is our enemy. Hold on, he's still a person. Huh, no one cares about one lost soul. I do. Carvander marched outside. Your friend is a bit unfriendly, the prince said. He's okay if you get to know him, Vixen said. He glanced out the window and saw Carvander crucifying the corpses of the slain soldiers from the previous session. Okay, yeah, he's a bit much. The blinded soldier told the party that he was horrified by what he had been forced to do. He explained that the people the Empire had taken were brought to Braza, where they were fed to a massive bird. Eventually, the soldier had had enough of it and tried to flee, resulting in his imprisonment. The party decided to get Prince Nerium out of the country for his safety. As they were traveling to the border, they stopped for the night at an inn called... hey, someone give me an inn name. Billy Goat Chickenshire! Okay, cool, the inn is named the Billy Goat Chickenshire. An innkeeper pops up and says it was named by his children. Children often come up with stupid names. For example, that's why the giant ravine running through the country is called the Fighter's Butt Crag. I sighed and added a giant ravine to the map in the spirit of yes-anding. That night, the prince decided to ask the party about their past, which is DM code for do character moments. Vixen explained that he had grown up in a pacifist monastery. Some things had happened which he didn't want to get into, and he left. He decided to start wandering and try to help a person or two. Aro said that he got kicked out of towns a lot for being a tiefling. I've grown tired of existing somewhere than existing some other place. I want to be a hero because maybe if I am a hero, then I can find a home. Graven said he'd grown up in Morios, the country they were traveling to, but left because his father was a prick. Hugo explained that he was a graduate student at Nessatine University in the Empire of Steel, which he was still pretty sure wasn't that bad. Anyway, while he was working on his thesis, he found this cool glowing stone in some cave, a crystal that allowed him to manipulate time. And the party's tendency to throw themselves into danger was useful because it gave him opportunities to test out the stone on them. I mean, I'm not complaining, but why aren't you doing your research while working for the Empire? And risk some other student copying my research? Fuck that! I refuse to let that demon Heather steal my research again. Carvander didn't want to talk about his past. Instead, he asked what Nerium would do to rally his troops. The prince said he didn't know, and Carvander screamed at him to figure it out. Nice guy, Carvander. Eventually, the party reached the city on the border of Woodwillow and Morios. The bridge was heavily guarded to prevent the war from spreading between nations. Okay, I have a plan. We slowly, over the course of several weeks, infiltrate and sabotage the local economy so that the guards don't get paid and quit. I have a much more efficient solution. Cut to 5 minutes later. All of the guards were dead, killed by Aros and Caravander. Vixen had gone for non-lethal attacks, but I mean, there's only so much you can do to be a pacifist when the party leader is a murder hobo. Graven said, I can't play for a few weeks. I mean, I'll take Nerium over the bridge and make sure he's safe. Before the prince left, he told the party that he just remembered an old story about a weapon his grandfather had used in battle. A fearsome, unstoppable weapon. Carvander's ears perked up. Or I guess, like, the scales where his ears should be perked up? The royals are useless, he said. The weapon is our salvation. The party returned to the capital to find it in ashes. Soldiers greeted them outside the city and explained what had happened. They had waited until Strongarm had left with half of his men, then tried to take back the city. The remaining airships destroyed everything by the time the knights managed to knock them out of the sky. Do you have any Empire soldiers left to interrogate? I would like to test out a new thing I have invented that I am going to call waterboarding. Unfortunately, they did, and he found out that the Empire was planning to invade with a giant bird in 3 weeks. The king thanked the party for saving his son. They asked about the weapon, but he didn't know much. He told them that his father had mentioned it when he was a child, and that the weapon needed a special magic key to activate. He said that the key had been buried with his father, and that the Order of the Zodiac, a group of monks with the temple not far away, would know more. Hey, I was raised by those monks. Nice guys. Kinda. Why'd you leave? It's complicated. If you can find this weapon, it may save us all. I fear our fate now rests on your shoulders. I'm sorry to put this burden on you. We will slay the beast. TLDR, the party broke in and robbed the dead king's tomb. He was buried with a golden key around his neck, which the party nabbed. Also, he was buried with a shiny silver shield covered in spikes. The party had to break off one of his arms to steal it, but in their defense, it was +1 and had a bonus feature where you could use it to deal 1d4 piercing damage as a reaction. Cool homebrew item I made that you should steal for your own campaign. They arrived at the temple and were greeted by Vixen's mentor, an old man named Kelton. He brought them into the central room of the temple, which had walls covered in gears and switches. From the dust, it was clear that they hadn't been moved in decades. So, you have come here in search of a great weapon. If Vixen wasn't with you, I would have turned you away immediately. We want to stop the great bird from destroying Wood Willow. We need some more firepower, you know? Power is dangerous in the wrong hands. Are you the right hands, Brother Vixen? I don't know. I just don't want people to be hurt. More honest answer than most. Our order was established to hide these weapons, to prevent destruction and calamity. We are pacifists. We do not use our strength to harm people, even the most cruel. Yeah, I know. That's why I left. Mr. Kelton, was it? I can't help but notice your ceiling, Hugo said. He looked up at the ceiling, which was covered in painted constellations of 8 creatures. A gorilla, an alligator, a tiger, a mole, a rhino, a wolf, a shark, and an eagle. This is a shot in the dark, but the great bird isn't the only monster out there, is it? There are more monsters out there, and if I know the Empire, and to be clear, I do, the Empire will seek to control them. Which means the weapon is even more necessary. You're correct. A beast from the heavens has awakened, and it is controlled by cruel hands. Then let us fight it, to save people. Very well, but when your battle is over, you must return the weapon. Every time it is used, people must die. That is the requirement. Fine, we will give it back once the Empire is destroyed. Now hand it over. Kelton chuckled. How little you know, he said. First, you need the key. We already have the key, Carvender snapped, holding out the golden key. You young people, always thinking you know everything. A key can take many forms and can have many purposes. We are not in the mood for riddles, old man. I'm in the mood for a riddle. I think he's saying that the key can also be used as a weapon. You need both halves, a key and a weapon. You're missing a piece and it is not here. So, you have wasted our time. Chill out. I don't have what you need, but I know where it is. You can find it at the Order's headquarters, at the Aura Observatory in Audubon. It will take weeks to reach there. Then you'd better get walking. Although, fair warning, you may not like what your quest requires. After the party walked out of the temple, Carvander said, I am no longer able to be a part of this campaign. That he wanted to stay in Woodwillow and prepare for the invasion. Man, I love the type of player who will join a campaign, completely dominate the story for the first 8 sessions by being that guy, and then just leave with a single sentence Discord message. Anyway, the show must go on. To get to Audubon, the party had to go through the Fey Woods, a forest north of the temple that, as the name implied, were rumored to be filled with dangerous, powerful Fey spirits. As they walked through the woods, they talked about their past without any DM forcing this time. So, what's with the devil stuff? I am being polite and making small talk. No, it's fine. My father is a devil, literally. But, not one of the terrible ones. He's a record keeper, mostly. It's very boring. My Uncle Terry, though, he's cool. Bit of a dick, but really cool. So, how'd you, come to be? If you must know, my mother sold her soul to find true love. And, by coincidence, my father was her soulmate. Aw, that's cute. Unfortunately, she got ripped apart by hellhounds when I was 9, and they came to collect her soul, but, that's how love goes. Oh, wow, that's a lot less pleasant. By the way, have we passed that tree 5 times already? Oh, good. Faye. The trees moved away, revealing a small child sitting at a table covered in sweets. The child wore a mask and had eyes made of darkness. "Hello, what are your names?" the child asked. "Hello, I'm Don't! And don't eat the food either, meanie." The spirit teleported up to Hugo and snatched away his time gem. "I remember this thing. It was fun breaking it." Hugo snatched the gem back. "Look, I understand what is happening here. You have trapped us here by bending reality, yada yada yada. And I assume you want to torment us and make us play games for your amusement? Well, that is the goal. Okay, fine. We shall play your games, but if we win, you will let us go. And if we lose, you get to keep us here forever. Deal! I was gonna trap you for a few hours and give you gifts if you won, but that's even better. What game would you like to play?" "The one game devils ever play. Liar's Dice." Aros and the Fae Spirit rolled their dice. "I have 4 6s. "No, you don't." "No, I don't." "Yay, I win! Wait. Best 2 out of 3? Okie dokie." The spirit turned to Vixen. "What game do you want to play?" Rock, paper, scissors." "Okay." They counted down from 3 and threw their hands. Both threw rock. They went again. Rock versus rock once more. Vixen stared down the spirit as he threw his final hand, trying to guess what would be thrown. The spirit threw scissors. Vixen went with old reliable.
"Good old rock. Nothing beats that."
1 versus 1. This is so exciting. Hugo marched up. "I shall also do rock, paper, scissors." Hugo threw scissors, but the spirit threw rock. "Well, shit. Hold on, I have a solution." "Vixen, can you repeat after me?" Okay. "Ad bullets vendo animam meam." "Ad bullets vendo animam meum." What does that mean? "It means you sold your soul to my father." "What?" "I mean, I couldn't sell my soul, I don't own it. And my dad will get us out of this." "I do not consent to this transaction!" Too late. A circle of fire appeared in the woods. Standing in its center was a devil who looked a bit like Aros. "Aros, father, what do you need? My good friend Vixen here has decided to sell his soul to you in return for you telling us the name of that fae over there. Right, Vixen?" "I guess." "Are you sure that this is what you want? Don't try to trick us. Just tell us the name." "Fine. Fae Spirit, tell us your name, or the armies of hell will raise this forest." The spirit laughed. "My name is Carmel, although that won't help you too much." "Ah, but that's where you're wrong. The true name of a spirit can be used to control it." "Yes, but that's magic beyond your capability." Just then, Aros' father disappeared, leaving behind a pile of ashes. "Where'd your dad go?" "I think he went back home. Devils, much like fae, are very particular about specific words that are used. You asked for my name, but that's all you asked for." "Ah, I see. We have made an error. Hey, Hugo, can you say something for me?" "No." "Fine. Back to the old-fashioned method." Aros carved runes into the forest floor and lit them on fire. A second devil appeared, a buff warrior with sunglasses and a mullet. "Terry!" "Hello, Uncle." "Terry!" Why is he just saying his name? He does that. "Terry!" "Look, this fae is named Caramel. It's Carmel. I need you to force them to let us free." "What's in it for Terry?" I'll give you this shield." "Are you sure you want to do that? That shield is very expensive and probably really useful and cool and..." "Nah, we're getting rid of it." "But you haven't even used it yet." Terry glanced at the silver shield. "Okay, sure, I'll take it." Cut to a few minutes later. The party walked out of the woods, now down a cool shield and also ownership of Vixen's soul. Hopefully that won't be a problem later. As they began to walk away, Carmel called out to them. "It was fun playing with you, so I'm going to leave you with a frustratingly vague warning. Beware the man whose heart doesn't beat." "What does that even mean?" "I'll tell you if you beat me at rock, paper, scissors." "No, we have a quest. No more deals with malicious spirits." And so they continued on towards the mountains.